Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be reading you another story, and today Big Ted's, Little Ted's and Alice all wanted to join in. The story I'm going to read today is about a little monster called Marlon. Here's Marlon. You can see he's looking a little bit cross, and we're going to find out what's making him a little bit cross. He's got a little pink dummy in his mouth. Now I wonder if that's got anything to do with it. The book is called The Last Nunu, and it's by an author called Jill Murphy. Jill Murphy is the person who wrote it. Marlon sat on the floor watching TV. There he is. Marlon's granny sat in the armchair watching Marlon. "He's getting too old for that dummy," she said sternly to Marlon's mum. "It's a Nunu," said Marlon. "He calls it a Nunu," explained Marlon's mum. "Well, whatever he calls it," said Marlon's granny. "He looks like an idiot with that stupid great thing stuck in his mouth all the time." "He doesn't have it all of the time," soothed Marlon's mum. "Only at night, or if he's a bit tired." "He's a bit tired now, aren't you, Marlon?" Said Marlon. There he is, watching the telly. He's got a lot of toys he's played with, and he's had his snack. He probably is a bit tired. "His teeth will start sticking out," warned Marlon's granny. "Monsters' teeth stick out anyway," observed Marlon. "Do monsters' teeth stick out? Can you see?" "Don't answer back," said Marlon's granny. "You should just throw them all away," she continued. "At this rate he'll be starting school with a dummy. At this rate he'll be starting work with a dummy. You'll just have to be firm with him." "Well," said Marlon's mum, "I am thinking about it. We'll start next week, won't we, Marlon? Now you're a big boy, we'll just get rid of those silly Nunus, won't we?" "No," said Marlon. "You see," said Marlon's granny, "one word from you and he does just as he likes." There was no doubt about it. Marlon was a hopeless case. He really loves his Nunus. Marlon's mum decided to take drastic action. She gathered up every single Nunu she could find and dumped them all in the dustbin 5 minutes before the rubbish truck arrived. But Marlon had made plans just in case the worst should happen. He had secret Nunu supplies all over the house. He's got a plan. He's put more Nunus around the house. There was a yellow one down the side of the armchair. Can you find the yellow one? He's just going to pick it up. A blue one at the back of the bread bin. Various different types in his toy ambulance. So he found his blue one, and now he's got more and more and more from his toy ambulance. And his favourite pink one was lurking in the toe of his Wellington boot, and that's his best of all. His mother and granny were astonished. They could not think where he kept finding them. "You'll be teased when you go out to play," warned his granny. "A great big monster like you with a baby's dummy." Marlon knew about this already. The other monsters had been teasing him for ages, but he loved his Nunus so much that he didn't care. The other monsters often lay in wait and jumped out on Marlon as he passed by with his Nunu twirling. Who's a big baby then? Jeered Basher. Does the little baby need his dummy then? Sneered Alligatina. Who's his mummy's darling? Cooed Bumps-a-Daisy. Marlon always ignored their taunts. You're just jealous, he replied. You'd all wish you'd got one too. He didn't pay any attention to their silly words, did he? Gradually, the secret supply of Nunus dwindled. Marlon's mum refused to buy any more, and they all began to get lost or thrown away by Marlon's mum. And finally, there was only one left, the pink one Marlon kept with him all the time, either in his mouth or under his pillow or in the toe of his Wellington boot, where no one thought to look. To his delight, Marlon found one extra Nunu that his mum had missed. It was a blue one, which had fallen down the side of his bed and been covered up by a sock. He knew his best pink Nunu wouldn't last forever, so he crept out and planted the blue one in the garden. All the other monsters decided to gang up on Marlon. Poor Marlon. They collected lots of different bits of junk and fixed them all together until they'd made just what they wanted. It was a Nunu Snatcher. Then they waited behind a bush until Marlon came past with his pink Nunu twirling. Here he comes, said Alligatina. Grab it, yelled Bumps-a-Daisy. Now, said Basher. There's the Nunu catcher. They're all hiding in the hedge, aren't they? With one quick hooking movement, they caught the ring of the Nunu with the Nunu Snatcher and pulled. But Marlon clenched his teeth and held on. Monsters have the most powerful jaws in the world. These are your jaws here. And Marlon's very strong. Once they'd decided to hang on, that's it. Marlon hung on. The monsters hung on to the Nunu Snatcher, and there they stayed, both sides pulling with all their monster might. And there they would be still if Marlon had not decided just at that very moment that perhaps he was too old to have a Nunu anymore. So he let go. And all the other monsters went whizzing off down the road, across the park and into the pond with a mighty splash. Marlon went home. I've given up my Nunu, he said. I sort of threw it into the pond. Good gracious me, explained Marlon's mum, sitting down suddenly with the shock. I told you, said Marlon's granny, you just have to be firm. Actually, said Marlon, I've planted one, so I'll have a Nunu tree, just in case I change my mind. That's nice, dear, said Marlon's mum. Nonsense, said Marlon's granny. Dummies don't grow on trees. A Nunu tree? How ridiculous. But I wonder. Let's see. Oh, was it so ridiculous? What can you see in the tree? That's Marlon on the back of his book with his mummy. And there he is with his Nunu, but I think he's given them up now. Maybe you have a dummy or something else. Something like a Nunu. I used to suck my thumb when I was a child. Maybe you have something. See you tomorrow, everybody. Bye.